Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fast Lane Pod. My name is Olawumi. Hi, Timmy. How are you doing?
Welcome back, everyone. I'm doing well. How are you?
Alive and well and excited. There's another Grand Prix weekend.
We
Austria.
are in Austria, the Red Bull Wing.
Yep.
Red
Yes,
Bull
sir.
Ring. Yeah.
Red Bull Ring. Yeah. Red
Yeah.
Bull Ring. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
this is Max's home race, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
What are we expecting from this race?
Let's see. I watched free practice 1 and 2. I think we already know what to expect from this race.
Really?
Um,
Tell me.
uh,
Tell us.
Mercedes, Ferrari came in with upgrades to the car, upgrades to the engine, and we thought they were going to be on fire. All right. But there's only one team on fire this weekend. And there's
And
only
who's that?
one driver on fire this weekend.
Okay. Okay, who's that?
My man Kimi is on fire this weekend. Kimi is on fire this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
He led FP1 and FP2. And by a decent margin over everybody else.
Yeah.
He's just on fire. He's on fire.
Yeah. So I think that there's been a lot of talk about Ferrari's upgrades. They came with about 4 upgrades. And I'm surprised everyone's talking about Ferrari actually, because Cadillac came with 10 upgrades. So that's a huge amount. But anyway, I think Red Bull came with 7. Audi also came with 7. So a lot of teams came with upgrades, right? So I think just because of that, I've just been counting down to Austria. Let's see what all the teams can do with their upgrades. But as you said, there's one driver that's dominant. I wouldn't even say a team. One driver that's dominant. But the reason why I asked that question as well is because I feel like the McLarens have been quite dominant here as well, right? In free practice 1 and 2, we've seen both McLarens in the top 4, I think. Yeah, top 4. So I think they're doing quite well. And yeah, I think apparently this is like Lando likes this track. I think he won his first Grand Prix at Austria, and he won the last Grand Prix, right? So apparently this is one of his faves. But yeah, they no, no,
No. No.
you're not buying it.
No. I think they flatter to deceive. I think when you look at their so FP2 typically shows you what their race simulations are. FP1, they're working on setup. FP2 is more like long run simulations. And when you look at the long run pace, FP3 is, I think you're working on qualifying pace at that point. You've dialed in the car for the long haul. You're now working on qualifying. And, and from what I'm seeing, right? From what I'm seeing, yes, the McLarens are second fastest, but that's not saying anything because they're second fastest by there's like was it half a second or something between the Oscar is the faster of the McLarens, and maybe he's like 0.3 bit slower than Kimi. And knowing what I know about or what we've seen about Kimi gets faster over the weekend. I mean, people do, but if these guys. I don't think McLaren have long run pace. I think their tire degradation is actually quite high. Unlike last season where they were able to be really conservative on tires.
Who is this? McLaren?
McLaren, yes. Okay. I think their car is eating up tires this season.
Okay.
And so long haul pace is going to be a problem. And
we saw that in Barcelona, actually.
Yep. Tire deg is a problem. Yeah. And this is going to be a really hot weekend. They're saying it's looking like a 2-stop race. In which case, even if it's a 2-stop, your tire management is going to be an issue.
I love 2 stops. I'm sorry. I am now in love with 2 stops. Yeah.
I love 3 stops. I love more 3 stops.
Well, you can count on Lewis to make a 2-stop, a 3-stop.
You can count on him, exactly. But I don't think that the McLarens have it. I think they'll be in there in qualifying, and then as the race wears on, you'll see them just fall behind. I think the race for second is second team is between the Red Bulls and the Ferraris. But I think Mercedes have one to unlock.
Yeah. I mean, you think they have 1 and 2 unlock?
Yep.
So, okay,
Yep.
so I mean, we haven't spoken about Max.
Hmm.
And I know Max is struggling with the car. I know generally Red Bull is struggling with the car.
Hmm.
But this is one of Max's strong tracks,
Home
right?
races,
He's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's his home race. He's good at this track. I think we've seen from maybe it was FP, what was it? Maybe FP1 or 2. I think he was top
Hmm.
4 or something like that, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, FP2, he was 4th.
Mm.
Um, and again, with Max, I feel like he does better in the races. I think when push comes to shove, that's when he kind of, gets on with it. So I think it's tough. I think that there are, just as you said, Kimi does better in the race. I think there is also Lewis as well, who we see usually progress over from FP1 to FP3. He usually progresses.
Hmm.
I honestly think, and I saw somewhere actually, some people were talking about Ferrari and all their upgrades, and they were saying, how can they upgrade their engine and then still be off the pace like we saw in FP1 and 2? Maybe, or do we think, and I guess this is the question to everyone out there, to you, allow me, are they sandbagging?
No.
Will we
If
see
it,
their true pace in the race, or will we see it at FP3?
so, a couple of things. I think it's a very good question you're asking. A couple of things. I think that long-term pace, this Ferrari seems to be good, and Lewis seems to have an edge in long-term pace, right? So,
Mhm,
full race pace.
mhm,
So they'll be in there. But I think it's actually their aerodynamics is letting them down. I think they're struggling between sector 2 and sector 3 of the track is where they're losing time.
mhm.
And it's a tight technical part of the track where it's not so much about engine power. The truth of the matter is that the engine is not everything. In a racetrack where you have long straights and fast flowing corners, where
Mhm.
the engine performance is key, then the engine makes a difference. But when you have a place where it's more about aerodynamics and driver
Okay,
performance, then
okay.
your engine is not going to make
It's
that
not
much of a
key.
difference. And I
So are
think
you saying that?
we're on those tracks
Mhm.
here
Okay, so are you saying that we will not maybe see the effects of Ferrari's upgrades to another track, basically?
until we get somewhere else. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think you're going to see the maximum effect of it. Yeah, so I wouldn't write off
Okay.
Ferrari's upgrades yet.
Okay.
I wouldn't say oh rubbish, but I would say, and it's curious that they brought the upgrades here. The chassis upgrades here, yeah. Engine upgrades, but maybe
Mm.
they're just trying to test. So if
Yeah.
upgrades are ready, let's just test them here. Even they won't
Yeah.
make much of a difference, but at least let's see if we can claw back some of the deficit. I,
Yeah.
I don't think it's the engine is such a big factor here, as is the entire package. It's
Okay.
your error
Okay.
here. Your error. It's a tight circuit.
Okay. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
I'm not mad
So
at that. I'm not mad at that.
I mean, look. I was hoping, and I am hoping that Ferrari can make a proper battle of it this season.
Mhm.
Especially Lewis. You know how last season, and in one of our recent episodes, we talked about Lewis and Charles and the difference between them. This season, it looks like Lewis has Charles beaten
The
properly.
opposite way, right?
Like it has the
Yeah.
measure of him.
I
I read somewhere that they said it looks like Ferrari is listening to Lewis more in terms of how the car is being developed.
Yeah. I read somewhere that he said that as well, that he said, he's gotten a lot of the things that he's asked for in terms of the
Mm,
development of the car, and he's much happier with it now. And I
mm,
think we can all see that, right?
absolutely.
Shocker, shocker, shocker. I read, or no, I heard Lewis talking about an injury last season. Did you hear about that?
I think I did. But go
So
on,
it was
go on.
in the interviews, right?
Hmm.
The press interviews, and he basically said how during testing last season in Barcelona, he injured he there were rumors. I think someone took like a picture that leaked to the press. There were
Hmm.
rumors last season about him crashing
Hmm.
at
Hmm.
testing. And
Hmm.
then so apparently he actually sustained an injury, I think in his neck or something like that. And apparently for like the first 12 weeks or something like that, he was in critical pain, he couldn't sleep, was having to do all different types of physio and things like that. So definitely the beginning of the season was a really, really tough period for him. He said every time he was in the car, he wasn't comfortable, he felt pain. So I think that, it sheds a lot of light on what Lewis went through last season. He obviously didn't want to disclose that last season, and I think rightly so. It's easier to say now that it's in the past, right? But yeah, I was like, no wonder. No wonder. No wonder. Oh yeah. So,
Yeah.
but anyway.
I saw the headlines, but I didn't really read the story. I've had a really busy period, but it does shed a little light on Lewis's struggles last season, especially as well as adapting to a new car that was developed for somebody else, and Ferrari's shambolic strategy calls and Adami.
Yeah.
Adami
I've tried to forget about that name. That's why I didn't.
Yeah. So I think it was just what's this called now? Look, I'm struggling for the words for it now. But it's one of those clusters of like a concurrence of mishaps of unfortunate circumstances, right? Where everything just seems to be working against you. And what can you do with that? Village people.
Yeah.
Sorry, my default village people.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. But we're here now.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead. Okay.
Given what's happened the last 3 race weekends, I'm almost afraid to ask this question. Knocking wood. Is Lewis a contender for the championship this season?
Dun, dun, dun. I think he is. I think that, it's always too early to say, to be honest. If we look at what happened last season as well, around this time, I think Piastri was probably leading the championship. And then we saw what happened after the summer break, right? And so you're right to touch wood. I think it's too early to say, but I do think that if Mercedes ever thought that they were going to have it easy, they've now got Lewis at the back of their minds thinking, we need to be careful. I think what's his name? Russell. Russell said it during his interviews. And he knows Lewis. Do you get what I mean? He knows Lewis well. He knows once he can smell the victory, it sparks something in him. He doesn't have a bad car. And so I think that if there's anyone that's going to give Mercedes, a little bit of a headache, I think it will be Lewis. I think that if they continue the way things have been, right now, who would have thought I would be saying Ferrari had or are having good strategies, right? We didn't see this last season at all. I didn't know it was possible. But, is it Barcelona, Monaco, cases in point? Right now, if they continue, I think, with the good strategy, hopefully these upgrades make a difference, then I do think he's in the championship fight. But ask me this question, to be honest, after we've kind of seen the full effect of these upgrades, then I think, we'll be able to answer it with more certainty. But what do you think? What do you think?
I would like to think so. I hope so with every fiber of my being. I want Lewis to win that eighth title. Desperately do. But when I think about realistically, do I think that Ferrari can catch Mercedes this season? I don't know. I feel like, just like we're seeing this weekend, where Ferrari have gone back to the drawing board and come up with some upgrades. Here we are. Mercedes are still much faster. And Kimi seems to be on a roll right now. And let's think about it. But for reliability last weekend, he would be much closer to Lewis in the championship race. Or rather, he'd be further ahead, right? He lost an easy, 18 points last race. So Lewis is caught up now because of reliability issues. And I'll just say, I hope so. I would like to hope so. And I'm going to leave it. I'm going to cross everything. I cross my fingers, my toes.
But the question you asked me, or the question I heard was, is he in the championship fight? Right? Now, I'm not necessarily saying he's going to win. I think that is harder to say. But I guess my answer is, will he at least give Mercedes a little bit of a headache, a run for their money? Will he do that? And I guess my answer to that is yes, right? And remember, I think it's you that always says it's not just about pure pace, right? So of course, if it was just based on pace, then Mercedes would be miles ahead. But we also need to think about other things like
reliability,
think
is always a
about
factor.
strategy. We need to think about George Russell and Kimi fighting on the track. There's so many other elements, right? Crashes, etc. So I think those things, favor some of the other teams, and we'll see. We'll see.
You definitely give the other drivers a shot. And remember this odd stat that we've seen, that Lewis wins the title in the second season of the new team. No. So joined McLaren, came close in his first season, won the title in the second season.
Is that a stat, or is that some?
It's a stat.
It feels like a stat.
It's a stat, right? It's factual. It is factual, right?
It's a coincidence. It's a coincidence, I would say.
It's occurred twice.
Yeah, that's twice. A coincidence.
I guess. Well, I would like it to be a pattern. I want it to be a pattern.
Okay. So the question.
I'm not just wearing Ferrari for nothing. I'm not just wearing Ferrari for nothing. Right? I wear Ferrari. This is my juju. This is my juju.
Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments. What do you think? Is this wishful thinking? Do Ferrari have a chance? Does someone else have a chance? Should we be paying more attention to the current championship winner? Do you call it winner or leader?
Leader.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments. But before we close, allow me, I'm sure you know the question I'm dying to ask. What are your predictions? So this is twofold. This is twofold, right? So we need your predictions for quali. And then we need your predictions for the race.
Okay. For quali, are you writing this down?
I'm about to. Give me a second. Okay, I am.
For quali, I go with Kimi, George, and Oscar.
Can I just ask, why do you think George is up there? Because he hasn't, like, in FP2, he wasn't great, right?
It's the car.
It's the car, okay.
It's the car. It's the car.
Okay.
It's not so much George as it's the car.
Okay,
and the
so
car
that's
has a distinct advantage, though. It's quali. For the race, I'm going to go with Kimi, George, and Lewis. It's the car.
Okay.
And you?
So quali, I'm going with Kimi.
Oh my God, we agreed again.
No, we don't agree actually. Quali, I'm going with Kimi, Lando, and Lewis.
Why am I not surprised that you went with your boys?
Who are my boys? I don't know what you're talking about.
Lando and Lewis.
That's so not true. Unless Lando is watching and wants to give me like backstage passes to Silverstone. I love you. Okay, for the race, again, it's Kimi for me. For the race, right, I'm then thinking Lewis, because if Lewis qualified third, I think in terms of race pace, he has an advantage over Lando, who I say qualified second. So I'm saying Kimi, Lewis, and then I'm saying George. Russell nowhere because he's got bad luck, and I think he might not finish it.
Village people.
Lando, I hope you finish the race, but I just have a feeling you might not finish the race. Like your car will just start going slowly.
But why Lando over Oscar? Why?
I think Oscar is stronger on this track. He's stronger on this track.
And he's been stronger in FP1 and 2, he's been stronger. So why are you going with Lando over Oscar?
No, sorry, what did I just say? I said I think Lando is stronger on the track.
But throughout this weekend so far, Oscar's been faster.
Has he been? What was he in FP1?
I think it was third, and he's second in FP2, I think.
In FP1, he was third, you're right. And Lando was, So I agree with you. He's been faster, actually. Oscar's been faster. But I still think that Lando is, I think he's better on the track. Just
You think or you hope? You think or you hope? Is this wishful thinking?
No, it's not wishful thinking. I think if you compare the stats, maybe we should do that. If we compare the stats, why are you laughing? Because I said stats. If we compare the stats, right, over the years, Oscar and Lando at Austria, I think Lando has done better. But let's compare. What do you think?
Yeah, let's look at it. Let's look at it. See. Wasn't last season? Okay, go on.
Okay, so according to this, last year, Lando was first, Oscar was second. 2024, Lando finished last. He had a crash. Oscar was second. 2023, Lando was fourth. Oscar was P16. 2022, basically the rest was Lando. It's Lando. It's just Lando.
Yeah, but how long has Oscar been in F1 anyway?
No, good question.
This is like his fourth season or something.
Yeah, but still, if you do four, like basically, he's never finished ahead of Lando apart from when Lando didn't finish, which doesn't count.
So he joined F1 in 2023. So really, it's just 23, 24, 25. Yeah, so 3 seasons. I'm not sure there's enough there to judge.
Yeah, but I agree. But there's enough there to say. Well, you used stats. You said you had stats, and you said the Lewis stat. That was only 2 instances.
Yeah, I agree. But that's 100%. That's 100% stat though.
Yeah, but this one you can't count. The only time Piastri out of the 3 times was when Lando crashed, right? So it's not like.
So I agree that Lando is stronger. I'm just saying that this weekend so far, Oscar has been stronger.
Yeah, but you asked me, and I said because I think Lando is better at this track, and you didn't. You said
that's fine. So we'll see. We'll find
out. At least we don't agree for once.
We don't agree. For once, we never agree. I don't think we ever agree on anything.
You say
maybe
tomato,
once in a while.
I say tomato.
I think we rarely ever agree on anything, but that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
So we have our stats. Nice. Before we go away, if you're watching this channel, please give this video a like and subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so you can get a notification when we publish a video. It goes a long way to support us. Please, please, please support us. Give us a like, and thank you very much for watching us.
See you on Sunday.
See you on Sunday. And we'll find out who was right between Timmy and myself. Actually, we both agreed that Kimmy's going to win. There isn't much there.
Yes,
we agreed that
no,
Kimmy's
but
going to win.
It's second and third. That's what we're
fair enough. On. So I called George for second. You called.
Hope you're not changing your results
Lewis.
now. I have
No,
it
no,
here.
no, no,
You don't
no,
need to
no.
recount.
You called
Okay.
George for second. I called. Sorry.
What are you talking
called
about?
Lewis.
Quali?
You called Lewis. No, for the race. You called Lewis for second. I called George for second, and Lewis for third. You are calling Kimi, Lewis, and Lando for the race, right?
So you are basically saying, you're basically saying that Lewis is going to overtake Oscar because you called Oscar third in quali.
Yes.
And then Lewis wasn't
Oscar will qualify third, and I think Lewis qualify. And I think Lewis finishes on third.
Okay.
I think George somehow comes second. You think that it's Kimi, Lewis, and George. So you're backing Lewis to finish ahead of George. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
That's a tight one, to be honest. That's a bit tight. But Georgie. Let's see.
Georgie
Porgy.
Is Georgie Porgy going to make Timmy cry? We'll find out. Anyway, everyone. Good night.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching us.
Bye.